today our topic is oxidation-reduction reaction. Oxidation-reduction reaction is also known as redox reactions. So what are redox reaction or oxidation-reduction reactions? In oxidation-reduction reaction, electrons move between the atoms. What does it mean? For example, there is atom A and atom B. Atom A is giving electron to atom B, so it would be definitely an oxidation-reduction reaction. What actually happens in those atoms? Atom A is giving electron, so that's why oxidation is taking place here. Atom B is receiving that electron, so atom B is undergoing reduction. We can modify these terms oxidation and reduction in such a way that as atom A is giving electron or as atom A is undergoing under oxidation, so atom A is oxidized. And as atom B is undergoing reduction, so we can say that atom B is being reduced. So we can conclude that reduction is gain of electrons and oxidation is loss of electrons. So the big picture of oxidation reduction is oxidation is the loss of electrons and reduction is the gain of electrons. Reduction is gain of electron. Gain of electron, but the meaning of reduction is there is something to reduce. So the term reduction become confused for some people. We can avoid this confusion by some trick. Oil rig. Oil stands for oxidation is loss of electron. Rig, reduction is gain. So by memorizing this trick, we can avoid the confusion of reduction. Actually, in reduction there is gain of electrons. Gain of electrons, when we add electrons, actually the charge, negative charge is increasing. Negative charge, when we add one electron, it becomes negative 1. One more electron, negative 2. As the charge is decreasing, so that's why we called it reduction. For the formation of the ionic compounds, there is always oxidation-reduction reaction occur. We take to understand the oxidation-reduction reaction, we can take an example of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is an ionic compound which is formed from the sodium atom and chlorine atom combine to form sodium chloride. Sodium and chlorine were atoms and were neutral. They become ions. Sodium was neutral. Chlorine was also neutral. After that, sodium gained positive 1 charge, become ion, and chlorine gained negative 1 charge and become ion. These ions come close together and form the sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is an ionic compound and is a table salt, common salt. How these neutral atoms become ions? Sodium atom lose an electron and chlorine atom gains that electron. So sodium becomes sodium ion and chlorine become chloride ion. These opposite charge ions come close together and become sodium chloride, an ionic compound. We can write this example in the form of this equation. This is a full equation for the formation of sodium chloride and ionic compound. In this equation, the oxidation state of sodium is 0. Chlorine is also 0. Sodium here becomes positive 1 and chloride negative 1. Actually, this whole equation consists of two processes. Sodium is losing electron. So that's why its oxidation states goes from 0 to positive 1. So here is oxidation process between sodium and sodium ion. In the case of chlorine is 0 here and gain 1 electron, and chlorine to chloride, it is the reduction reaction. This whole chemical equation is basically consists of two half reaction: oxidation half reaction. What is occurring in oxidation half reaction? Sodium is losing 1 electron. So it is oxidation half reaction. The second is reduction. So it is reduction half reaction. In reduction half reaction, chlorine is gaining that electron which is lost by sodium atom. Chlorine gain that electron and become chloride ion. And by the sum of these two half reactions, we gain this whole chemical equation. So oxidation-reduction reaction, by the oxidation-reduction reaction, we gain an ionic compound, and we have to remember that in a single reaction there is always oxidation and reduction occurring at the same time. One atom is losing electron and that electron is picked up by the other atom. In this way, oxidation reduction reaction occur and ionic compounds are formed.